Alright, son. I I like this author, Tony Robbins, Unlimited Power, Awaken the Giant Within. I think the name of this one is called Giant Steps. It was written in 1994, the copyright. Dreams of Destiny. How to get what you really want. It talks about pain and pleasure. Most of the things you do are to avoid pain, and some other things are to get pleasure. That's everybody. You could also use the word always. Remember what I told you about always, all? Sometimes you gotta pay extra attention. There might be an example where they are wrong. Well, he's the one that taught me to do that. But the reason that we always move towards pleasure, would you die for somebody? To protect somebody?
It depends who it is.
Right. So, wouldn't it be painful to die? But it would give you pleasure to save that person's life, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So even though we're like a scale, a balance scale, pain and pleasure, it would be painful to die, but it would give you pleasure to save someone's life. So you moved for pleasure. Alright, someone could prove me wrong. Either way. Dear reader, welcome. Whoever you are, whatever success you've already achieved in your life, whatever problems, he calls them challenges, whatever challenges you may currently be experiencing, it's your desire for results that has brought you to this book. As a fellow traveler on this amazing journey called life, I salute you for your dedication and commitment. I promise that if you play full out with me through the following pages, you will be rewarded far beyond your expectations. Alright. Day 1.
This is the book you were talking about that we were talking about this book a few days ago.
Yes, my son.
I don't know what we were talking about. I forgot. It was in the video.
When I mentioned this is because I wanted to be rich, right? But I knew that I had many things that were missing. So I went to gather all of these things. Confidence. I was afraid of the bullies and I didn't know how to fight, so I took Tai Chi Chuan, right? But that era of being in school, in a public school or a private school, or being the only white, I look white, the only white person on a bus and things like that, the only white person in the neighborhood, I'm no longer in that environment, so all my problems about fighting, like people that should know how to fight are the children, because you are most likely going to have problems in school. So I learned after I got out of school, and I haven't had any real fights since then. There was one when I was learning Tai Chi Chuan, a man and a woman. I thought he was a homeless man because he was going through the garbage can. And the woman told me to put gas or something. No. At the gas station where I was the cashier, I saw them and they were yelling at each other. He was yelling at her, things like that.
And you kicked them and you slipped.
And I kicked him on the buttocks. I said, "Is there a problem?" And then he just was so mean to me. So I kicked him on the buttocks because he turned around to pick up something from the floor. And I found out that when I kicked him, I felt lightning come into my body, right?
What do you mean?
Anger. As fast as lightning. And then I kicked him on the buttocks. He hit his head on the front of the pump where you put gasoline.
Mm-hmm.
And I fell on my left hip. And I stood up again. Real fast. But he saw that I fell. Because the gas station floor is slippery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the woman came at me, but she only, I did a movement like this to move her arms. Because in Chicago I saw a girlfriend slash a boy. Two men were fighting, and then one of the girls walked in and just slashed him on the throat or underneath his lips, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he fell on the floor, so it must have been. And then the other girl came and started holding his head. So I expected trouble from this woman. But she said, no, 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 he's my husband. And then I thought I was being a gentleman by protecting this woman from this man that was yelling. But I found out that it was her own husband, and probably, now I'm thinking, she probably threw his things in the trash can. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking, well, what will I do if I see a man yelling at a woman? I'll keep driving. What if I see a man beating up a woman? I'll call the cops. And it's not that I'm afraid to fight. It's that I don't understand what's happening, you know?
What do you mean?
Well, maybe she did something to him, and so he's beating her up. Not that it's wrong to beat her up, but maybe she did something to him.
It kind of is wrong to do that.
Well, then shouldn't she have been respectful in the first place? Hmm?
Everybody sleeps up.
Oh, there's a big difference between yelling at a woman and beating her.
Okay.
Alright, so we all have dreams. We all want to believe deep down in our souls that we have a special gift, that we can make a difference, that we can touch others in a special way, and that we can make the world a better place. What's one of your aspirations? Maybe it's a dream you've forgotten or have begun to relinquish. If that vision were alive today, what would your life be like?
What about my dream today when I woke up?
Mm-hmm.
I was dreaming about it being a millionaire because I invented some sort of a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I really loved it.
Wonderful.
I was like, yeah.
I like games that help people. Now, if it's going to teach them to be a zombie, then I don't like it. How many minutes is it? 9?
Mm-hmm.
All right, take a moment now just to dream and to think about what you really want for your life. All right, I know what I want for my life. And one person told me, if you only had a job, Daniel, that paid you money, that is, you would fix most of your problems.
Was that R.A.?
No, it was this Mr.
F.R.?
Mr. Martinez.
Oh.
Now, I wonder about that because if I have a job, rather, if I have money, the first thing I want is to have a girlfriend. So you see how I avoid having a girlfriend by not having money. You see? All right, so let's see. Day number 2. It's not what we do once in a while that counts, but our consistent actions. And what is the father of all action? What ultimately determines who we become and where we go in life? The answer is our decisions. It's in these moments that our destiny is shaped. More than anything else, I believe our decisions, not the conditions of our lives, determine our destiny. So I made a decision to stay here, right? To be a dad to you. What decisions have you made, son? Go to sleep?
Mhm.
All right, we can continue this tomorrow. You're falling asleep on me. And maybe we'll find the other book we were reading.
Harvest and the seed sow.
The Harvest and the Sow. The Seed and the Harvest, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Tony Robbins mentioned that on his CDs, the ones I bought, Personal Power, something like that, 30 CDs, 30 days to a new life.
Mm-hmm.
On day 1, name 2 decisions that you've been putting off.
Then day 2, four
Do 4.
decisions.
Day 2 was do 4. And come on now, it can't be throw out the garbage again. You gotta make a real big decision. Uh-huh. All right. Well, I gotta find a bookmark for this. Ugh. Well, tomorrow we continue. Good night. God bless you. Go do a good deed.